Hello and welcome to another episode of the 3 on 3 Hoops Pod, the voice of 3 on 3 basketball and part of the 3 on 3 Hoops Nation, where our goal is to grow a community around the power of 3 on 3 basketball and better player development. As always, I'm joined by my partner on the West Coast, Coach Jay. What's going on, Coach?
Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar. And today is going to be another good episode. This isn't just another 3 on 3 conversation. This We're going to make this about player development. And we're joined by Coach Ras Vanderloo. Coach Ras is the head boys basketball coach or you said you were recently retired, right? At
Correct.
Sioux City
Yes.
East High School. Yeah, so
Yes, sir.
recently, newly retired,
Yep.
Sioux City East High School basketball coach in Iowa. Over 200 career wins, multiple state tournament appearances, two-time Iowa State Coach of the Year. I told Coach to call me out if I short him on any
300
stats or
wins.
accolades. Oh,
300
there you go.
wins.
300 wins.
That's short right there,
I
boy.
did. I short him big time. So 300 wins, 300 career wins. So as you can say, is well decorated. He was also doing some working for the junior national. Did some work for USA Basketball since 2019, working with the junior national team. Recently started doing work with FIBA, and also involved at USA Basketball with 3x3. So he, on top of that, he runs youth leagues with over 650 kids annually, program that's been going on nearly 3 decades, and started by your father. I read. Is that true?
Yes. Yes. Very, very true. Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh,
this is someone who's seen the game from the youth level, high school level, state tournament level, national development level, and USA Basketball, as he does a lot of work for USA Basketball right now. So that makes this conversation very interesting for us. And it's gonna show where Coach with this type of background sees real value in 3 on 3 basketball. So today we're not gonna debate, was 5 on 5 better than 3 on 3 or vice versa. We're just here to talk about player development. Coach Rise, welcome to the show.
yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I think the work that you guys do is incredible. The 3 on 3 is exploding as we speak in popularity, not only nationally, but internationally. So no, it's a great topic. We can debate everything all night long, good and bad. But at the end of the day, a 3 on 3 has value at every level: youth, high school, college, pro, international, FIBA, you name it. There's value in it.
Yes, sir. And
Agreed.
so, Coach, you've been coaching nearly, what is it, 3 or 4 decades now?
Too long,
So
too long. That's what we're gonna go with.
you've seen different generations of players, different trends, different philosophies. When you look back at your early years compared to now, how has your view of player development evolved over time?
I think it's 360 change. I mean, when I started coaching roughly 32 years ago, there was very little player development. I mean, a kid would play football in the fall, basketball in the winter, soccer or track, whatever their deal is, in the spring, baseball after that, and you just played your season. Now, if you want to get to the top of the list, okay, you got to work on your game year round. I do think
Yep.
kids should play multiple sports because you learn different disciplines, you hear different voices, and you use different muscles. I mean, but I also think if you want to be a tremendous basketball player, you can't put the ball down for 9 months and go do your other stuff and forget about it. You got to find that little bit of time. You know, there's 24 hours in a day. I tell kids this a million times. You sleep for 8 hours. Hopefully, you get 8 hours of sleep. Most kids don't, by the way. Okay, so
Yeah.
that takes you
Yeah.
down to 16. Okay, let's just say you're in school for 8 hours. That's eight more. Now you're down to eight. Okay, there's a lot of things you can do in 8 hours. You can still go to football practice, soccer, track, baseball for 3 hours. That's probably too long, but let's just say 3 hours. Now you got five left. Give basketball 1 hour. Give it 45 minutes. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
but you got to get that ball in your hands. Okay, you got to work on a skill year round if you think you're going to be good. So that's the biggest change. 30 years ago, very little of that was going on. Very little. Maybe one kid within 50 miles was doing work year round. Now
Yeah.
I truly believe there's more kids than ever doing workouts. Okay. And I think that's great, but are they doing the proper workouts? Okay. They're
Yeah.
doing individual workouts and you need to. to get better. But I also think they need to do some sort of team workout, and 3-on-3 is the best option,
Yep.
absolute best option. So I mean, there's a value in everything what we're talking about here. Yes, you got to do workouts. Your individual game needs to get better, but also your team game needs to get better. Basketball is played as a team. We don't play one-on-one tournaments. I mean, we play
No.
either 3x3 or 5-on-5. What's a team game? You got to learn team skills as well as individual skills.
Yep. I completely agree.
I wish my son was here to hear that.
Oh, we're gonna show him the show,
Hey,
Coach.
I'll give
Yeah,
you
you
a-
make him
I-
sit
I
down
always-
and watch this show.
always try to tell them, like, you
There's our
need
clip
at
right
least,
there.
right? You need at least 30 minutes, right? And I'm shortchanging it, but you can go outside, pick
Yep.
up a ball. We live in Arizona, so
Yeah,
we have
year
perfect
round.
weather year round. So it's
Yes.
no excuse to not at least for a half hour a day. I would prefer more, but get out and play with the ball. Go shoot some jumpers, even if it's by yourself. So
And,
Yeah.
and
I
so many
definitely,
kids, we've become so I guess entitled might be a word we want to use, special, whatever. Kids don't want to go to the old park, the blacktop, the playground. They want to go to the fancy gym with the well-lit courts and the fancy square boards and all the stuff. There's been thousands of players over time get better on the blacktop or on the playground.
yeah,
Okay. Go find some older guys to play against, a couple years older than you are, because they're going to be bigger, stronger, and faster. Get used to trying to stop them. Okay. Get that old 2-ball dribble. You don't need to have 2 brand new basketballs. Okay. You get the old nasty ones that kind of don't bounce right. You hit that crack in the
yeah,
pavement. I mean, you're everywhere, but that's how you get better,
yep,
but kids anymore, they don't want to do that because it's not perfect conditions. They want to
yeah,
get in a fancy gym with the well-lit courts and all the stuff. Get
yep,
outside. Get on those courts behind the school or in the park or wherever they might be. That's where you learn to play basketball.
Well,
exactly.
Coach, we appreciate you
Exactly.
having on. That's all we need from you today. 'Cause
I
you
was about to
pretty
say,
much.
look, I was about to say, we only been recording for
We're
10
good.
minutes, but this is a gold mine worth of information already. That's
Go,
great.
go
That's
ahead, go ahead,
great.
Coach. Go ahead.
Coach,
You can ask your question.
when did 3-on-3 basketball first get on your radar, and what initially intrigued you about it?
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's been a long time. Probably when I first started coaching, because you couldn't always get 10 guys together. You could get 6. So you did 3-on-3 stuff. So kind
Yeah,
of unintentionally, that's kind of how it started, because you might have some kids. I live in Iowa. A lot of kids in the summertime, they work on farms and things like that. They had
Mm,
jobs. So you couldn't
yeah,
always get 10, 12, like a full team there, but you could get 6, so you did a lot of 3-on-3 stuff. I carried it over all the way through my coaching. We did tons of drills, 3-on-3, 3-on-3 rebounding, 3-on-3 offensive sets, 3-on-3, stops or defensive sets, a shell drill, 3-on-3 shell drill. So we did tons of things 3-on-3, which I think it really teaches more, because the 3-on-3 concepts, you have a ball in your hands more because there's only 3
mm.
of you out there. Okay. You need to make decisions. And a lot of time I'll just tell like it is. You don't got the big heavy kid standing down at the block getting in the way. Okay. You're
yeah,
able to be you're able to be creative, without that
Yeah.
big post kid and the defender clogging the lane. So you learn to take the ball to the hoop. You learn to hit seams. Okay. You learn slips on screens and without a post down there. So you have some success. If you come off that screen, he slips it, you hit him, he lays it up, everybody feels good. The passer, thinks he's Jason Kidd. The kid going to the hoop thinks he's Shaq.
Hmm.
I mean, there's success, all kinds of. When you don't have success, basketball's not fun. So
Hmm.
you can teach through success. You can set things up so you have success. Okay, no post down there. Hey, we're going to start slipping these screens, or we're going to come off that screen and get to the hoop. If you got a good point guard or a good kid with the ball. Okay, well, there's success now in their mind. They're thinking, I can do this. You know what? I'm not that bad. I can do some things. So I just think 3-on-3, because there's only 6 people out there rather than 10 in a half court set. You can do a lot more. You can be way more creative. You don't get as many passes stolen or deflected. There's not as many turnovers and there's more made
Yeah.
baskets. So that success
Yeah.
part of it, I think, teaches kids, but it's fun to play this game.
yeah,
Absolutely. And you pointed out something earlier, while you were talking, when you're talking about, kids thinking they're Jason Kidd or Shaq, and you basically get rid of positions, period. You know what I'm saying? So, like, every position has to learn how to play every spot on the court. So, this kid that thinks they're Jason Kidd at one point, Well, first of all, these kids don't know who Jason Kidd is. Probably
Yeah,
you probably used
that's
the wrong player.
exactly right.
But if you think you're Jason Kidd at the top of the key, but then you make a cut and think you're Shaq, that's it gets rid of that. I have to be a big man. I have to be a guard. Like everyone has to play everything at every position on the court, and that's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
love about three on
It's
three.
it's uh three on three, 3x3 is a positionless game. You're
Yep.
every position. I mean, you're
Yeah.
on offense and defense. You're a
Yep.
point guard, you're a wing, you're a post, you're a screener, you're a
You got to
rebounder,
help
you're
side
everything.
defense.
100%. Yes. Yes.
All
So
right. So
it's
you
positionless.
Yep. And you just mentioned 3x3. So I do want to jump into that since that's something that you've been involved with. And we just talked about the difference between 3-on-3 and 5-on-5. There is a little bit of a difference in 3-on-3 and 3x3. And, I'd like to talk about the first time you saw 3x3 or got involved with 3x3. Was there something about it that surprised you? What jumped out? And why do you like it?
Well, the 3x3 part of it, that's what kids will see in the Olympics.
Mhm.
If you get on YouTube, there's tons of 3x3 stuff. It's mainly in Europe and Asia, a little bit South America. We don't have a lot of 3x3 tournaments in the USA. We have teams, but we don't necessarily play home games. We play 99% of our games in Europe and Asia, all over the world. But the difference in 3x3, and I probably got interested in it 2 Olympics ago. The first time that we were in it,
Mhm.
I'm thinking, basically, I still kind of slip up and call it 3-on-3, even though there's a difference between the two. It's very similar. The rules of 3x3, just so people that don't know kind of know, it's a 10-minute game. It's a continuous game. Made baskets, you don't take the ball out of bounds, you take it out of the net. Or missed, you just play it, take it back behind the arc. It's a continuous game, so you got to be in shape. Each team has 4 players. You have 3 playing at a time, and you have 1 sub. Okay, so you got to be in shape because it's constant movement. And even our USA basketball players that are playing on the world stage, that's like you got to be in shape. Yes, that's how you wear people down in a short 10-minute game. You think it's only 10 minutes when it's nonstop 10 minutes. Anybody goes out and tries to play a basketball game and never sub or never stop it in 10 minutes, you're dying out there. You're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 12-second shot clock. And so it's a really short shot clock. It's you think, well, no, try playing it. It's quick. It's
Yeah.
really quick. There's not a lot of time. You're not setting up multiple things, screen back, skip, it's quick hitters. 12-second shot clock. You play to 21 or when the 10 minutes run out, who's ever ahead. So you play to 21. So if there's 3 minutes up on the clock and it's 21-17, winner. Okay. If you go to overtime, the first team that scores 2, baskets are 1s and 2s. So just think of it as scoring a layup in 3x3 is worth 1. If you hit a 3, it's worth 2. So it's 1s and 2s is what you're playing by in international competition, in 3x3, for instance, the Olympics. Fouling is a big deal. On the 7th foul, it's 2 shots. You can be fouled 30 feet from the basket. It's 2 shots. On the 10th foul, for instance, a double bonus that people are used to, it's 2 shots and the ball. So if you can get somebody into foul trouble, you're probably winning at an 80% clip because every time there's a foul, you get 2 shots and the ball back. So it's like a flagrant 2. It's not good. So if you're able to draw fouls on people, that's an advantage. You got to make your free throws, obviously.
Yeah.
But those are the main advantages. You use a little different ball, and notice right behind you, there's an actual 3x3 ball. It's the size of a women's ball, the 28.5, but the weight of a men's ball. That's the major differences. And it's multicolored. So you'll see any of the international competition, that's the ball they're using. Woman's size, men's weight. And people are going to go on like, what? Yeah, well, if you ever get one in your hands, you're going to go, you know what? Yeah, it is a little smaller, but it's a little heavier. So that's the reason. Men's weight, women's size. So fast game, 10-minute game, play to 21, nonstop. Like I said, you got 1 sub. That's all you got. See, what you'll see a lot of times is every time there's a whistle, doesn't matter if it's the first 15 seconds of the game or 3 minutes into it, both teams are subbing. You're always subbing on a whistle. You don't have to, but you'll see that a lot. It keeps everybody fresh. Coaches cannot sit on the bench. They have to sit in the crowd. Normally they sit behind. I mean, I'm not
Mhm.
saying they're not coaching because they are,
Yeah.
but you can't sit on the bench and take the clipboard and start drawing up stuff. Can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of self-coaching. And the coaching is done in practice. The games are played by the players, which I don't mind. I think it's great.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
So they know what's going on out there. They know what will work, what won't work, you know. And as a coach in the stands, you could yell out a few things. If you start getting crazy, though, the officials will stop it and give a warning.
Yep.
So yeah, at the end of the day, it's basketball, but there's just a few little
Mhm.
different rules that I don't think it's a big deal, but it's basketball.
So
Yeah.
I want to, sorry, coach. I do want to stay right here. So I know the U.S. has struggled. You say it's just basketball, and USA has the best basketball players in the world. I know. I do know like the point system that doesn't allow NBA players to play. In these FIBA 3x3 tournaments, you have to play in a certain number of tournaments to qualify for Olympics and all that. So I
Yep.
get that part. But is there anything that we can do here in the States? Do you see us, I guess, improving to where we're at least more competitive in 3x3? Say in the coming Olympics that's going to be in
Mhm.
Los Angeles
Yep.
in next time around.
I do think the LA Olympics in 28 will
Mhm.
I mean, who knows, but I think it'll definitely be a better showing for the USA. First of all, the women's side, we've done very good, but we're also
Yes,
playing with our
absolutely.
WNBA players. We're playing with our pros in the women's side is set up different than the men's side. So you'll see
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
lot of our premier players um, playing on the women's team, and they've done very, very well. The men's side has struggled a little bit because we can't use our NBA guys. Um,
Yeah.
I personally think there's a reason behind that. I think that maybe FIBA or some other groups are thinking on the 5-on-5 side, the Americans just
Yeah,
dominate. So we're not going to let them dominate
yeah,
3x3 too. So we're going to put the
yeah.
Right.
rules a little different.
It
So yes,
it's
there's a
getting
point
closer in
system.
5-on-5 though.
No, the gap is closing. I mean,
Yeah.
you hate to admit it, but just honestly, the gap is definitely closing on the 5-on-5 side. But in 3x3, um, if you're if you're a really good college player, okay, your dream is to go to the NBA. It's big money, or maybe you're thinking I can be a two-way player, big money. Okay, the on the 3x3 side, it's not millions of dollars, big money. It's not
Mhm.
NBA money. Um, the money is getting better, and they're setting it up better so these guys can make, they can do it full time and make a good living. I
Mhm.
mean, they can make a couple $100,000 playing basketball, and who wouldn't want to do that?
Yep. Yep.
So that is every year's gotten a little better. Our pro team is actually called Miami. There's
Yep.
a long story behind that, but they're not from Miami. They're nothing to do with Miami. That's their name. Um, so they this past season, which is going to start up here again in about a month and a half. Um,
Mhm.
it was the best season they ever had. I mean, they won multiple
Mhm.
events, and when you're winning these events, there's incredible prize money involved. I mean, there's good prize money. I'm not talking about 5,000. I'm talking a lot more than that. So if
Okay.
you could win an event, you're okay. You can get second in an event, you're making good money. I mean, even top 3, 4, I think it pays out
Mhm.
normally down to about 6. But if you can get in that top 1, 2, 3, it's worth your time. And I think
Okay.
this past year, I have the numbers in front of me, but we won we got first in multiple events. We got second in multiple events. We got third in both. We got paid in a lot of the tournaments. So those
Mhm.
guys made a good living. So now these younger guys that are maybe G League guys, that the G League salary, just so everybody knows, is not great. I think people think, oh, they're playing pro basketball. Um,
Minor
it's
league
not
baseball is what it is.
correct. It's not even close to what you think it is. Now, if you get on a two-way, yes, you're making good money.
Mhm.
But most of the guys aren't on two ways. So
Yeah.
now some of those guys that are in the G League, in their minds, are going, well, I could do this 3x3 stuff, travel all over the world. I'm young, and possibly make, 150, 225. I mean, a couple $100,000. That's way more than you're making in the G League. So
Yeah.
now they're going, okay, this is now a viable option. I mean, I got to play well. We got to win. All of those things go with it. That's life.
Yeah.
So now I think the pool of guys considering 3x3 has gone from just a little group of guys to now like a big group going, wait a minute, I want
Awesome.
that. So that right there, I think, gives us a way better chance in 28 in LA than I think our talent level. Not that the talent level in the past has been bad. It hasn't.
Hmm.
It's a group of guys that really didn't play a lot together. And,
Hmm.
and then some of our best players, Jimmer Fredette was our best player. He, in the
Yep.
first game of the Olympics, he gets hurt, doesn't, isn't able to play the rest of the way. He's a
Yeah.
former NBA player, former college player of the year.
Yeah.
Now he is actually the head of our
Yep.
3x3. Jay Deming is the head of it. Jimmer is kind of the
Hmm.
General manager, right? Or something?
general manager.
President?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great guy. Both guys are great guys. They know what they're doing. And I definitely look for progress on the men's side.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's no guarantees anybody's going to win, but I do think our chances of winning is drastically going to go up in 28 in
Yeah.
LA.
As a
Well,
fan
all the
of,
kids out there, you heard that. You can make good money and a good living
yeah.
playing 3-on-3 basketball.
I'm
Don't
telling you
scoff
right
at it.
now. I'm telling you right now. If you it's a viable option.
Yep.
And that's it. No disrespect to the G League, but you
Yeah.
can make triple, more than triple what you're making in the
Yeah.
G League. Travel the
Yeah.
world as a young person. I mean, they're playing in 20 different countries, So it's you're young. I mean, you're playing basketball. It's better than going 9 to 5, sitting in an office or working in a warehouse.
It
I
sure
mean,
is.
you're playing
Well,
basketball, you
Coach,
know.
thank you for making my commercial, because I do run the FIBA 3x3 in my league, and that's all we do. So, I'm gonna play
It's
your clip for my little promo.
So, Coach, in your experience, your vast experience, what does 3-on-3 basketball teach players that the traditional 5-on-5 game often doesn't teach as quickly?
Yeah, no, great question. Number one, it creates quick thinking. You're not going to hold the
Yeah.
ball there for 3 seconds going, okay, we're going to run play number one or fist or head tap or whatever you want to call them. You don't got time for that. That shot
Mhm.
clock is it's 12, 11, 10. I mean, you got to, it's quick thinking. Okay. It makes you be creative. Okay. I mean, you're either going to pass and cut, you're going to pass and screen, you're going to pass and screen away. I mean, you might set a double. You might get in a Texas set or a double high post. I mean, and even if you don't have the ball, you got to get lined up. You got to go. Like I said, that
Yeah.
not even the 10-minute game, but that 12-second shot clock makes things you got to roll. So
Hmm.
you got to be able to do all things. I mean, you talk about old school triple threat. You got to have triple threat. You got to catch it, and if you're open, boom, you got to hit it. Okay. If you're
Love it.
not open, you got to pass and cut or pass and screen. You got to take it off the dribble. But it needs to happen now. So I think
Yeah.
that the fact that you got to think quickly. Okay. You're going to have the ball in your hands more than you've ever had in a 5-on-5 game. Number one, because there's only 3 people out there. There's only 2 options you can throw it to, in
Yeah, you
5-on-5,
gotta know what to
4
do when you
options.
get the ball.
Correct. If and when you don't see a lot of old school throw it into the post and he backs in 3 dribbles and starts doing all this stuff, you see very little of that because the clock's running. I mean, by the time you take the ball beyond the arc, you're down to probably 9, 10 at the most, probably 9. So really you got 9 seconds now. Okay. You make one pass, that's a second. By the time you catch it and look and everything, it's probably 2 seconds. Now you're down to 7. Okay. You watch any college or pro game, when they get to that 7 mark, I don't want to say it's panic mode, but they're starting to do something.
Yeah,
So
the pace starts to quicken.
correct. Everything's accelerated. And same thing at
Yeah.
3x3. That quick, everything's accelerated. Whatever it might be. There are tons of sets and tons of very good plays that are running 3x3. People are going, well, how do you do it? Well, you just do it with
Hmm.
3 guys rather than 5. And there's some tremendous. You even watch high level or any college level or the NBA. A lot of that stuff is on one side with 3 guys. I mean, it
Hmm.
really is. I mean, you got 2 guys on the backside. You're playing a 3-man game over here. It's the same thing in 3x3. And just watch that. Watch what they're doing. I mean, watch where they're cutting, where the ball's throwing, where they're screening, and that's Just take that little side play and make it the play. So but it's quick hitters. And then you got to constantly communicate. In 5-on-5, like I said, if you got the big post man standing in the lane, he clogs everything up and just kind of slows it. Well, you don't have that. So you got to get everybody picked up. I got 14, I got 12, I got 2. I mean, and there might be a time just because of the way the ball bounced long or whatever, I might have to guard you instead of him. I got 2, I got 2. So you constantly got to be communicating. It's an incredible drill and practice to do it because they have to communicate at all times. You have to talk. And when kids don't talk, they lose. I mean, I forever said that more teams lose games because kids don't talk. They don't shut up in class or at home, but you get them on the court and they don't want to talk.
You preaching to the choir right now.
You got to talk. So it really teaches that. So, I mean, the quick thinking, creativity, fast pace, boom, 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 we got to go, and communication. Okay. Then defense is defense. You got to be able to guard. I mean, there's no help. You don't got the big guy in the middle blocking shots because everybody, you're matched up. In 5-on-5 basketball, the ball's over on this wing. You tell everybody to get off to the hoop. Everybody get in the lane. Well, if that guy's a shooter over there, they skip it. You're down 2-0. I mean, you got to be able to guard.
Yep.
So you don't have a lot of help. I mean, once in a while you will, but most of the time you don't. I mean, so you got to be able to keep I got to keep you stay in front of me. Once you gamble and lose, they score because now it's 3-on-2. You can't gamble and lose. Be solid. Kids anymore, they want highlight reels. They want to gamble and try to pick that pass off and go down and dunk it. Well, there's no transition game in 3x3. You're half court. So there's no sense of trying to do it. Because if you go for the steal and miss, you gambled and lost, it's 3-on-2. Teams are going to score at a 90% clip 3-on-2, or they should. So you got to be solid on defense. Okay. Everybody's a rebounder. No, I'm a point guard. Everybody's a rebounder.
You got to get the board.
Everybody. So don't, you might grow up going, well, I played on this AAU team or high school or whatever. I'm the point guard. I'm the 2 guard. I'm rebound. Well, in 3x3, everybody needs to rebound. If you don't rebound, you ain't gonna win. It's like communication. Every kid in the world thinks scoring wins and loses games. It's all the other things. It's defense, it's communication, it's toughness, it's hard work. Those things lose you games. So it's so important that you get guys that work well together, guys or girls that work well together, that communicate with each other, that don't get their feelings hurt when I tell you gotta get it picked up. Come on. Oh God, I'm yelling at me. That's kind of the world we're in. Rather than toughening up, going, yep, you're right, my bad. Won't happen again. Those teams are the teams that are good when they're all accountable to each other. We're all going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Okay. How do you react? Are you going to pout? Are you going, he's yelling at me. He looked at me funny. Who cares? Play basketball. Come on.
Turn it off.
Yeah. So, I think those things are all important. They all matter. It's just a matter of you want to get a bunch of hotshot kids that are interested in stats or interested in winning, because it's 2 different things. It really
Absolutely.
Is. So,
so Coach Jay and I, we do talk a lot on the show about decision making, and you kind of alluded to it earlier in your last answer, how decision making is a big part of when you're playing 3-on-3, and it does force players to think and problem solve differently, for sure. And I don't know if and I have my theory is just the reps that you get. The reps that you get in 3-on-3 is so much more. So you have many more opportunities to make decision-making skills. I mean, do you see any other ways, or how these players are problem solving differently in 3-on-3 versus 5-on-5?
Mm-hmm. Also, there's nowhere to hide. Okay.
Yes.
There's in 5-on-5. I always say it's kind of like soccer. You got a big field with these players. You can hide a dude out there that's not very good. I mean, you can't.
Yeah. So you're constantly thinking.
I pick on soccer a lot. I'm sorry, but in 3x3, it's half court. There's only 3 of you playing against 3 of you. There's nowhere to hide. You can't go stand in the corner. Hey, don't worry about him. He can't do anything. You can't. Everybody's got to be part of it. I mean, obviously every team's got a dude. I mean, a guy that can probably score whenever he needs to or wants to. It's just like 5-on-5. Everybody's got a kind of a guy that's primarily a ball handler. You know, you got a primary 3-point shooter. You know, everybody's got a role. Then the same thing in 3x3, but you can't have somebody that can't do anything. What you need to do with him is say, you need to go to wrestling practice tomorrow. That's what you need to do with him. Because he can't help you. I mean, he might be your best friend, but let's be honest. You know, wrestling is at 3:00 tomorrow, buddy. Isn't that really not? So, I mean,
Hilarious.
it's all about honesty.
Hey, that's why coach likes the multiple sports players.
Yeah, absolutely. You got options for those guys that are no good. You know, send them down the hall.
Yep.
You know,
go take somebody down to the ground.
100%. You know, those big tough guys, those football guys, and most of them can't shoot to save their backside. Okay, you need to go to wrestling. You know, give me some athletes. Give me some guys that want to play together, that don't get their feelings hurt. Okay, we're all in this together. You know, if you screw up, I screw up. You know, let's fight for each other. You know, let's hold each other accountable. You know, not whine about it. So there's so much in our country. Well, they feel bad because the coach got on me or that guy yelled at me. That's life, man. That's life. Get over it. You know, give me a bunch of dudes that just like each other and like winning, and we're going to win. End of the day, we're winning. Because we're not selfish. Our ego don't get in the way. Our feelings don't get hurt. We're just about winning. You know, we're going to fight and scratch and hustle and do everything we can to win. And we're going to pick each other up. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to fist pump. You know, we just won. But I don't care. I mean, I watched a college game last night, and coach is getting on this kid, and his head goes straight down. I'm thinking, come on, dude. I mean, you're playing on a Power 4 game here. You're getting NIL probably coming out your rear end, and you're pouting. What? Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Rather than going, you know what, coach, you're right. My bad. I got to get back on D, or you know, whatever happened there. But get a bunch of guys that play for each other, and you can get whoever you want. We're winning. I know that.
Go. Let's go.
Exactly right. I mean, and kids and men, they'll feed off the person leading them. You know what?
Yeah.
At the start of the day or during practice, you know what? You're doing awesome. You know what? I want to see you tell him what he needs to do better. Hey, you need to rebound better. Okay. I mean, do it in practice. Make them say something to another player that may not be comfortable. Okay. Just so during the games when it happens, your head don't go down. Oh God, he doesn't like me. You know, no, I love you. I love every one of you. I love winning too. You know, let's look at that. That's what I love the most. I love winning more than I love you. So let's win. You know? but you got to practice the good and the bad. You know, make it real. You know, just go privately tell Johnny over here, hey, next possession, you know, call him out for something he did wrong. You know, he didn't force the guy baseline. He didn't force it left. He didn't rebound. He didn't, you know, extra pass. Just say something. See how he reacts. If you do it in practice, guess what? It works in the game because we do that in practice. So I'm used to it. You know, he called me out. I was wrong. You know, call me out. We're good. Won't happen again. So I think that's important. But we're in a world where we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Oh gosh, you know, they may not like me. I'm going to switch teams. You know, that's the world we're in. I mean,
oh yeah,
even all the way up to college.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it all filters down. That I think is the root of evil right now. Kids are seeing all this transferring and all this craziness going on. You know what? The greatest player, Michael Jordan's had bad days. LeBron's had bad days. I mean, the greatest players ever have had bad days.
Kobe Bryant has the most missed shots in NBA history.
Correct.
Michael Jordan never had a bad day, coach. Come on.
You know, so I think that sometimes we got to practice adversity, you know, just so kids can overcome it. You know, I mean, hey, we started off terrible. We started off down 4-0. You know, our defense was terrible. Okay. We called the time. You get a timeout. And if in the pro levels, you actually get 3 timeouts because there's 2 TV timeouts and then a called one. So, I mean, just get everything slowed down, look each other in the eye. Let's get it together. Okay. We know what we're up against now. Come on. You know, I just think if coaches and players are honest with each other, it's only going to help them, you know, but you got to get a group of guys or girls that are be able to handle that, because not all of them can handle it. You know?
Yep.
And it doesn't need to be a screaming and yelling session, but if I just kind of give you the eye, like, come on, man, you got to rebound that ball.
Yep.
But, yeah, my bad, my bad. And
Mhm.
guess what? I bet you the next time the shot goes up, he goes and tries to rebound it. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
I just think accountability and communication can solve so many problems. You know, but if you don't ever say anything or don't ever practice adversity, once it happens, oh my gosh, all hell's breaking loose. So, you know,
Indeed.
practice it.
Yeah. Agreed. Um, for the JV coaches and the middle school
Mhm.
coaches out there, Coach, where do you see 3-on-3 fitting best into practice or into player development?
Yep. Now, a lot of those teams, once you get below varsity level, the JV, the freshman, middle school, whatever, their practice or their gym time is going to probably be a little shorter than the varsity time. A lot of times, I mean, now every school
Mhm.
is different, so they may not have a ton of time. But I would almost take 10 minutes, especially early in the season, every day
Mhm.
of 3x3. You got multiple hoops. Nobody should be sitting out. So, like in a five on
Yeah.
five scrimmage, you got 10 guys playing. If you got 15 on your team, five are sitting over there for the whole time or most of the time. They're not getting better. So, in a 3x3 or 3-on-3, okay, you for sure got two ends of 3-on-3. So that's 12 guys. You might have a side gym or a side hoop. You can go one more
Mhm.
group. Okay. That's another. Now you're to 18 guys if you have that many on your team. So
Yeah.
nobody's sitting out. And maybe if you play for 3 minutes, you blow the whistle, the team that's ahead stays, the team that's behind, they rotate one hoop. So you're playing against somebody different. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're seeing everything. I've guarded the best kid on the team. Now I'm guarding about the 10th best guy on the team. Or I'm guarding a guy that wants to just drive it right every time he gets it. Then when we rotate, I'm guarding a guy that's all left-handed. So you're seeing
Mhm.
everything, in a 10-minute span. Make it competitive. The group that scores the most points, you don't have to run. The group that didn't score, you got to run, two down and back. You don't need to kill them off, but just make it
Yeah.
make it competitive. So we lost. I got to run. Like I said, maybe it's just one down and back.
Mhm.
If you got last, you got two. But just make it so it's competitive and there's a penalty for losing. You know,
Yeah.
but almost 10 minutes, you're going to get more out of 3x3 for 10 minutes than 5-on-5 for 10 minutes because you got a third of your people sitting out. They're not
Yep.
getting better sitting out. So every day, 3x3, get you a hoop. Same games as yesterday. Then you might trade a guy or
Mhm.
two to even it up or whatever. But I just think at any level, all the way down to youth, I'm talking third, fourth, all the way up, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, even at the varsity level. Um, you can learn so many things in 3-on-3, 3x3. I said that
Yep.
decision making part of it. You might have a kid that even maybe he's your seventh man, and maybe he's just a shooter in the corner. Well, now he's got to play 3x3. Now he's got the ball and he's got to do something with it. He's not
Mhm.
standing in the corner. So he's got to put it on the floor. He's got to pass and cut. He's got to go screen. It makes him do something he normally doesn't do. Okay. Now you watch him go, you know what? I think he can help us. Okay. Now when he's in a real game, we can use him in, a high pick and roll or whatever set you're
Yep.
running. Now I know I've seen him do it before. He runs and stands in the corner. Okay, now this I know he can do a little bit more than we thought he could, so we can implement him a
Yeah.
little more. So I think coaching wise, you can learn more about your kids that way too. The kids
Yeah.
themselves are going to go, you know what? That kid that never wants to dribble, he's figured out I can dribble. I can get it to the hoop. When
Yep.
before he stood in the corner. So it teaches a lot of things. I think if you do it every day, especially if you're a youth team and you get one or two practices a week, I think
Mhm.
it's huge. I think it's huge to make sure you get that in there. You know, as you get a little older, even at the varsity level, I think it's important because you're going to have more than an hour. You're going to have an hour and a half, hour and 45, two if you're lucky. You've got more time. Implement that stuff every day.
Yep.
Make it a priority. Make it important and tell them why. Here's what it creates. Here's what it helps. You know, Communication, creativity, offense, defense, quick. And I know you don't got shot clocks in every hoop at the high school level, but maybe an assistant coach at each hoop just calling it out. You know,
Yeah.
something like that. So it teaches them the game of basketball. We've
I
We've went from doing so much individual workouts, one person workouts, and I think it's great. I think it's great. But we
Yeah.
do very little team workouts, teams of 3 or 4 or 5,
Mhm.
where there's a passer and a cutter and a screener and there's all. So we have probably more talented kids in the country than we've ever had. We have more kids
Mm.
that don't know how to play. And I'm not trying to be mean or
Mm.
anything like that. I'm just being totally honest. I watched thousands of games. We got
Yep.
incredible talent, guys that can do things you've never seen before. But at the end of the day, they don't know how to play, you
Coach,
know,
you just explained the reason why the gap's closing. Because you have, a lot of these European teams, they know how
100%.
to play the game and they're
Uh,
moving, the ball movement, the decision making. Meanwhile, US, we have, just across,
We
age
got
levels and
athletes. We got
yeah, we just have
athletes.
crazy athletes. I
Yes,
mean,
Or you might see one pick and roll,
yeah.
maybe.
and
And
then
and it's going to
yeah,
be
and
about
then off of that,
it's going to be run
if
about
they can
half,
get to the basket, it's
you know.
ISO.
I've spent the last 5 years in Europe in the summer, working over there, and it's funny. They make fun of us. They want us over there because they think every one of us is Coach K, even though we're not. I had dark hair, and that's about the only resemblance. Um, but they make fun of our system. What I just said, oh, USA, tremendous athletes, dunking the ball. Well, to me, dunking is 2 points, and it is what it is, you know.
Yep.
But they swear by it, and I'm with them. They're on that 6-to-1 ratio. They practice 6 times, they play one game. We're the reverse. We play 6 games, practice once, and that's why that gap is. It may not even be closing; it might be passing.
And
You know,
everybody doesn't show up to practice all the time too.
and I'm gonna tell you what, over there, you don't show up, you don't play. I mean, they
Mhm.
don't care if you're the best guy on the team or the worst. If you're not at practice, you're not playing. They don't care.
Mhm.
You might have COVID or pneumonia or, mom is sick. Doesn't matter. You weren't at practice.
Mm. Yep.
Practice in the European countries is a priority. I mean, it's like that's the most important thing you're going to do today is practice. Okay,
Yeah.
anything other than that is second. And they've instilled it in their kids and their parents and everyone. And practice isn't roll the ball out and scrimmage for a half an hour. It's
Mhm.
it's game on. I mean, it's competitive. Almost every drill. I'm trying to think of a drill that's not competitive that they do. And then that's you watch them play. It's competitive. They're guarding
Mhm.
people, they're sprinting back on
It's
defense. The
athletes.
ball's moving on offense. It's extra pass. It screams like a football player would put on you. I mean, it's everything is precision because they practice. You know, we've got an AAU system now that rewards talent. It doesn't reward fundamentals. It doesn't reward practice.
Mhm.
And I'm not getting on them. I'm just stating facts. Um, we have, like I said, the talent level in the USA is over the roof. Um, the know-how, the understanding of basketball it might be at a low point.
Mhm.
And we all need to get better, including myself. I mean, everybody is a part of this deal. Everybody, every part of the country. You can't, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, South. No, everybody's a part of the problem. We all want to talk about it. Okay, what are we doing to fix it? It's my days are over. I couldn't score on anybody right now. We're probably never could. But what am I doing? I get on these things and I yell from the top of the mountain, practice, practice. You know, kids want to play games and I get it. I totally get it. Even coaching games
Yeah.
is more fun than practice. But if you're truly
Mhm.
trying to help that kid, boy or girl, okay, hey, we're going to practice and we're going to get after it. I mean, we're going to get better today. Okay. Because on Saturday or whatever day you're going to play the game, it's going to show. You know what? Because
Yeah.
that team we're playing against, they don't practice. They practice for half an hour and they scrimmage. You know,
Yep.
we're going to run sets. We're going to play defense. We're going to talk on defense. We're going to outlet the ball. We're going to throw it ahead. All the things you're taught in practice, you know. So I just think that whole practice model that I see over in Europe, it's working. I mean, it's real. So I've seen it.
Yep.
I've been part of it. Um, and I just go like, God, I wish I could just take this whole country and pick it up and set it in the middle of the U.S. And everybody feed off it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just telling you, it's working over there. You look at the let's just say the Olympics. Okay, that gap is, from our dream team days of just blowing everybody out by 40 and 50.
Yep.
Now, we've lost games in each of the last several Olympics in the preliminary round. Now we have won the gold medal, but we've lost to France. We lost an exhibition game. We've lost, we don't lose a lot. I mean, we're still the gold standard. We are,
Yeah.
but like I said, the gap was here and now it's probably here. And I'm afraid in time it's going to be here. You look at the NBA MVPs, I think it's, is it 4 of the last 6 or foreign guys?
I think
Then
it's the
you got
last 5 in a row.
5 in a row, and then you got
Yeah, I think
Wemby,
it's it.
who's going to be one here soon.
Wow.
I mean, I'm,
It's crazy.
the best players in our league are foreign.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like, look at the college teams in our country right now. Every good team's got a foreign guy. You look at Illinois, 5 of them, and they're very good. I think they
I
start
was watching
5.
Mississippi State last night, and they had a foreign guy on the team. I was like, okay,
Everybody's got
this
a
is a new
foreign
day.
guy, So it's getting into the college level. So we got to do better for the kids. Like I said, we could all go, yeah, we got to do better, but we really got to do better. You know what? Every time we talk about this, hey, we got to practice more. Hey, and any more trying to get gym space is like starting a Russian war. I mean, I get that too. There's just not, you just don't have unlimited gym space and gym time. I get that. But fight and scratch and claw and complain to whoever the director of the facility is or whatever. Hey, can I get one more day? Can I, I already have Tuesdays. Can I get Thursdays? Just give me 45 minutes. I swear I'll be in and out. Just that little bit of time. If you start at the minute number 1, so many youth coaches, they come in, and granted, they're not full-time coaches. They're doctors and lawyers and officemen and PE teachers and whatever they are. Okay. They want to come in and talk to the assistant coach about Monday Night Football last night for the first 10 minutes, or some game. Hey, did you watch Duke Carolina or whoever I don't care what they watch, but they're talking about that. Well, the clock's running. We only have this much time. You just spent this much talking about some game last night. You know what? As soon as practice is over, talk about Duke Carolina. I don't talk about Kansas and Texas. I don't care who you talk about. When practice is over, that little 8 to 10 minutes that you wasted. Oh, did you see that catch? Did you see that? Whatever. Yeah, I did. But we got practice. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I've done it myself.
Yeah.
But I'm if anybody's listening and they're like, who's that little fat guy running his mouth on that pot? If they take one thing from it, take that. Run your practices organized. Use every minute you got because you have so few minutes. Use every minute you can. Until the next team's coming and they're answering to get on the court and they're all sitting there dribbling on the side. All right, our time's up. We have 45 minutes and we use 46. So that's I think that's important as well.
Yeah. So all right, Coach. We're gonna each ask you one last question as we're gonna start to wrap this up. But Coach Jay, you can go and ask your question.
I can go all night. You know that I can go all night.
Now you go. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So I'll my last question. I'll ask. So like I told you before at the start, most of our audience, most of our listening audience, we've got a lot of young and developing coaches who listen to the show. And if you were sitting down and you already mentioned the efficiency that you should use your time, the efficiency of time that you use in practice. But any other advice that you would give to a coach just starting out, about adapting, growing, or just staying ahead in today's game?
100%. First of all, thank every one of those guys or gals that are coaching you. Thank you, because most of them aren't getting paid. They're taking time out of their family. Thank you. Number 1. Okay, be passionate about the game. Okay, don't get caught up in your record. We all want to win. We all want to win, absolutely. But there isn't a college coach in America that's going to come and say, "Hey, that 6th grade team, what was your record that year?" They don't care. But little Johnny, who was a pretty good player in 6th grade. I watched him 6th grade, pretty good, 7th grade, better, 8th grade, better. He gets to the varsity pretty soon as a senior and he's all state because he had youth coaches that cared. Okay. They personally said, you know what? I'm going to make that kid better. I'm not going to let him not just be loose with the ball and turn it over 10 times a game. I'm going to explain to him turnovers lose you the game. So by the time he's younger, the time he's older, okay, cut those turnovers down to 1 or 2. I mean, guards are going to have turnovers. I mean, that's just life. They are. But when you
Yep.
start having 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're losing. Okay. Your passion bleeds onto those kids. Okay. If you're into it, if you're excited for them, if you're fist pumping, high fiving them, tell them they're doing a great job. They're going, you know what? I think we're okay. If you're the coach that's bitching and moaning, oh, we're no good. We can't do anything right. The kids can't shoot. They don't hustle. That's the attitude of the kids as well. Okay. Set it up for success. Don't set it up for failure. Okay. And as a youth coach, don't be afraid to call the high school coach, or maybe you've got a small college near you in the same town or somewhere. Every coach in the country will let you come watch practice. And if they don't, get a hold of me. I'll call them and ask them, what in the hell are they thinking? This is their future,
Yeah.
So get a hold of those people. Hey, can I come watch practice on Thursday or whatever day? I don't care. Go watch practice. Just write down a couple notes. You're not going to write down everything they do. And most, especially colleges, they'll give you a practice plan of that day. You can see everything they're doing. Circle those drills. Oh, I like that drill. I've never seen that one before. And I like that one. I don't like this one. Put an X through it. Okay. But maybe there's 2 drills you've never seen before. Start running those drills. Okay. Go to the varsity team's practice. The same thing. Ask the coach, hey, is there one play or one set or something you'd like me to run? Because these kids are going to be yours in 3 or 4 years. Hey, we run 5 out. We run the flex. We run whatever you run. I mean, there's 1,000 plays out there. Teach them that play. Okay. So when they're in late elementary, early middle school, and you're a 5 out, but you run a play out of it, you run horns out of it. And here's how we run horns. Okay, we're going to run horns in 5th and 6th grade. And they're not going to be great at it, probably at that level. But guess what? The next year they're going to be better. The next year they're going to be better. Pretty soon they get to 9th grade. They've run it for 3 years. They run horns like it's supposed to be. But if the first time they see it is 9th grade, it's going to take them 2 years to figure it out. So figure it out when you're in 5th and 6th. So go to that varsity coach, and if you don't, just send him an email, call them. Listen, that's their future. If they once again, if they blow you off, you call me, I'll call them because I don't care what they think about me. So we all got to help each other. If you watch games when you can, I don't care if it's a Division III game, an NAIA game, JUCO game, Division II, that doesn't matter. Some of the best basketball is played at levels below the TV. If you know what I mean. You're fortunate enough to live in a town that's got a D3 team or NAIA or whatever, JUCO. Go watch them once in a while. I mean, you don't have to be a season ticket holder, but just go watch them. You're going to learn more than you think. I will give this tip. It's not even a tip. It's something I've done forever. And I think it's a reason that I've been a part of a lot of wins at any level. Okay. Force kids to go left with the ball. 85% of the world is right-handed. Yeah, I looked it up on Google, so I know that's accurate. So kids, especially at a younger age, they're just average going to their strong hand. They are below average going to their weak hand. They don't want to go that way. They don't practice that way. If they go to a playground or a gym or a church, they're going right every time because I'm right-handed. I'm better going right. I'm better shooting right-handed layups. I'm better dribbling hard right. Make every kid go left. And I'm telling you, at the end of a season or at the end of a stretch of games, you're going to go, that's incredible. I mean, that kid who I know is good, he scored 2 points because he couldn't go right. Force every kid left. It's not a secret. It's not the magic play from that fat guy from Iowa. No, it's basketball. It's helping kids be more successful. So force kids left, be passionate about what you do. Talk to the high school coach about one play. And then one out of bounds play, one regular set, one out of bounds play. Okay. So when you say fifth 5 or whatever they call it, they can get lined up in a box set. He screens, he pops up, booms, reverse it in. Well, we've been running that play since 5th grade. I know it like the back of my hand. I just think it's so important. You don't need 25 plays. Just get one. Then maybe a 6th grade, add a second one. 7th grade, add a third one. So now by the time they get to that freshman, they've seen a lot of this stuff, and then you know how to run it.
Yeah.
I just think it's important. So talk to those high school, small college people. Become friends with them. They'll help you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that, and I like the fact that you said because that's one thing I always believe in also that you just need one good play. A lot of times, though, especially with a lot of younger coaches, ego gets involved, and you come with your notebook of plays that you've been drawing up, and even if you were an assistant and you have like these plays that are going to work, and sometimes you're more worried about how you coach than the player developing. So
Uh-huh.
I
One
love that you
thing,
said that.
it doesn't matter how much you know, it matters how much they know.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, you can walk in with the $42 notebook that you bought from Amazon or somewhere, and it's all laminated pages and color coded and all this fancy crap.
$42.
Let me tell you what,
No,
that doesn't
I
mean
shop at
nothing
Walmart.
if those kids don't know it. So
Mhm.
keep it
Yeah.
simple. Keep it simple, especially early age. If you got a good varsity team, absolutely. I mean, you got some kids that have played together for a long time. You can add some combination stuff, and as you can do all of that. Not when they're young. I've seen it too many times. Teams trying to run the damn triangle offense like Jordan's still out there. Listen, Jordan ain't
Mhm.
playing in a fifth grade game.
It's
You
grown
know,
ups that don't know the triangle.
correct. They can't even explain it. Triangle. You don't even know what the hell it is.
What's
So
the first concept?
yes,
It sounds cool.
It
keep it
sounds cool.
simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah, yeah. So, Coach, you've done this pretty much the entire episode. But my last question or comment is this: I want you to really put the cherry on the top. Validate 3-on-3 basketball to all the skeptical coaches out there.
And there's a lot of them, and I was one of them to start. I really was.
Okay.
Okay. When people hear 3-on-3, 3x3, that's not real basketball. It's only half court. There's only three guys. I've heard all the negative stuff. And in the beginning, I half believed them. I really did. I half believed them. I went to a practice at Michigan State. Tom Izzo, one of the best of the best. Guess what they were doing? For a long time, playing 3-on-3. I went to Iowa State. TJ Otzelberger, they're having a great year, top 10 team. What are
Mhm.
they doing? Playing 3-on-3. I went to Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska, Big East school. What are they doing? Playing 3-on-3. The schools I just mentioned are predominantly top 25 teams. I mean, they're not bottom of the barrel teams. They're on the top of the barrel. I've seen them do it. Okay, so now my belief is these are major college guys. I mean, there's potential NBA guys out here practicing. There's top 20. I mean, it's quality programs doing it. I talk to coaches almost every day at every level, high school, college, and pros. One of my former players is an assistant for the Nuggets. Guess what they did in preseason camp? 3x3. He goes, hey, send me anything 3x3 you got. So I got all my stuff that I did with USA, and I sent it to him. We're talking the NBA. We're talking a world champion, 2 years ago? Denver Nuggets, Jokic. I mean, great, great players. So if they're
Mhm.
doing it, Division I schools are doing it. People, get on board. Get on board. This is what the Europeans are doing every day. Every day. Remember, that's the group that's catching us. Yes, do you got
Right.
to do other things? Absolutely. You got to work on everything. But that's so important because I think it teaches people how to play. And if the pros are doing it, I'm talking NBA is doing it.
Mhm.
Division I power conference teams are doing it. Good high school teams are doing it. I mean, and I think with the Olympics coming up in 28 in LA, I think here in the US, I think it's just going to get bigger. It's going to just boom
Mhm.
because now it's on our home turf. It's going to be on TV. I hope and pray and I believe we're going to have a very competitive team. People are going to go, you know what? We probably need to start doing that. Don't be an old school grumpy guy. That's no good. That's stupid. Okay, guess what? I was one of those guys. I'm 360. I've made a million mistakes in my life. That was one of them. Not
Mhm.
believing in that, but for a long time I have. I've implemented it in practice. I've seen Division I guys do it. I've coached at USA Basketball. I mean, I 100% believe in 3x3. You learn more in 3x3 than you do in 5-on-5. I know that. I mean, I swear by it. So give it a chance. I mean, is it going to totally turn your team over in one practice? No, no, it's not. Give it a little time. Watch kids. You're going to find out some kids that you don't think can do a lot more than you think because there's not, like I said, there's not a post guy clogging the lane. There's not a lot of options. It's like clock's running. Oh my gosh, I got to do something, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you know. So I think it's a great teaching tool. I think it's a great evaluation tool for coaches. You can see more things going on with only 3 guys or 6 guys out there, girls, than with 10. So
Yep.
and there's even though there is quote transition in 3x3, it's just throw it out and throw it back quick. There's no true transition. Half of scrimmages are transition baskets. It's just
Mm-hmm.
wall rebound, throw it out, guy goes down, lays it up, or dunks it. What did you learn from that? Nothing. Nothing. You know. So I think it's I mean 5-on-5 is a great game. I watch it every night on TV. But I think learning basketball, give 3x3 or 3-on-3 a chance, because I really think it'll help not only your team, I think it'll help the kids individually. So
Man, Coach. First of all, I would like to point out to our audience, it is this interview is not in the morning. It is like late at night, and Coach has. I love the energy that you brought. You are incredible. To be going at this the energy level at this hour is amazing.
I'm an old retired guy too. So come on.
Actually, definitely gave us energy and everything that you said. My next session that I have with my kids, I'm just gonna make them sit down in the film room and just watch this podcast. That's basically what we're gonna do.
I'm gonna send it to the group chat myself.
They're gonna go awesome. Delete. Get this guy out of here.
Who is Jason Kidd anyway?
I do this on all these. I do a lot of these. I do this at all the time. I'm going to give my phone number out. If there's a kid out there, a coach, a youth coach, a high school coach, I don't care if you just think you're a coach and you're sitting in the stands. You have a question, a comment, you want to tell me I'm an idiot, I'm worthless, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm good. I've been shot at and hit before, okay? But also, if there's somebody trying to learn basketball, okay, I just want somebody to explain something to me, Tell me about this 3-on-3. I mean, why does it really work? I mean, how much time do I really need to do it? And I'll answer any questions. I'll return every phone call or text. I think that's important. If I'm out here running my mouth trying to help the game and I don't return phone calls or texts, then I'm not worth anything. I mean, I'm just some guy blabbing. So if you don't mind, I would give my phone number out. I mean, don't call and tell me I suck. I already know that. So
I'm going to take it down right now.
and in all honesty, I'm one of those old guys that's up all night. You can call or text me, email me, do whatever you want, any day or night of the week. I don't care if it's February 19th, July 5th, October 10th. I don't care. I don't care. I want to see kids get better. And I truly mean that. And it sounds kind of quirky or weird. I don't even know these kids, but I just want them to have success. Because if they don't have success, here's what happens. You quit playing. You turn to drugs, alcohol, stealing stuff at the mall, mistreating women, vandalism, all those things. And I don't care where you live. That's what happens. So we need to keep kids playing. Okay. We need to keep them fired up about playing, having success. Yep. Don't quit playing because you had a bad game. I see too much of that going on. Let's just work on getting better. Let's work on having fun. So at the end of every game in practice, you may have won or lost. I can't control that, but dang it, you better have enough fun that you want to come back the next time. So in the next year and, year after year after year. So I think it's so important. Keep kids involved. There's only one best player. So I'm not the best player. I know, but everybody else likes to play too. And so do you. So shut up. Here's my number. 712-253-4504. 712-253-4504. Anybody can call and text me.
I'm going to send you a text so you can plug me in, Coach.
100%. I will. And like I said, you can't even tell me. I can't even tell you how many. My wife wants to kill me because all they're doing is sitting around texting people back.
Same.
That's funny. Well,
but
Coach,
if there's anything I can do to help you guys, anything, I'm in. So
yeah, I'm actually gonna talk to you after we finish recording, but I do have a request. But I can say on here definitely, if you want to join our 3-on-3 Hoops Nation, Coach, where are we at with subscribers on that right now? Do you know?
We are at 390, so we get in there.
You're going to be at 391 here as soon as we get off this thing.
Appreciate it, Coach. Coach J, do you have any final words?
Man, I'm just blown back and flabbergasted by this show, man. I mean,
this was awesome. Coach, I don't want to.
I can't wait to rewatch it. I can't wait to rewatch it.
Nothing against any of our other guests. I appreciate every single person that we've had on. We've had some amazing coaches, coaches that's taught us a lot, but just Coach Ras, your energy, what you said is, stuff. Even if it's stuff that Coach Jay and I have said over and over again on this podcast, you just said it in a way that still like kind of blow us away. And I really appreciate you coming on the show and spreading your knowledge, spreading your wisdom, spreading your love, for the game of basketball.
Well, I want to thank you guys for doing this because everybody's a part of making kids better. Everybody's a part. I mean, those 391 people that are members, let's just say half of them or 10% of them see it. That's enough.
Mm,
That's 50 people that are going to go, okay,
Yeah.
wow, okay,
yep.
let's go. If you just help one person a day, this thing will grow. If we sit around and complain about the wrong things in sports and basketball, it's never going to grow. So let's try to make the kids have the most success they can have. They become better people through sports.
Well, again, Coach, thank you. And it looks like we're gonna have to get Coach K on as our next guest to top this
Our
because
top this, huh? Phil
the next
Jackson or
coach has a
somebody,
lot.
Greg Popovich.
That's about right. I'm
No,
a
Coach.
JV guy. He'd be the varsity guy. So,
Coach, I appreciate it again. And we'll see you when we see you. Thanks, guys.
all right. Appreciate you guys.
Peace.